Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where Laf's still with us, which is a real miracle.
It's great news to be here, James.
Because I saw your brother scored for Northern Ireland.
That's right, yeah, great goal.
Who did you score for this weekend?
No, I didn't play.
I didn't play.
I didn't play this week. I was on the bench. But
left back in the change room.
That's right, left back. Terry Riley, that great. A lot of people don't know that. Don't know Terry Riley.
Yeah.
And
Terry Riley.
You know Terry Riley?
Yeah.
He looks like a mobile donut.
Yeah, he
played for Celtic. He was Celtic Juniors.
Bosch had a winner.
That's right.
The
clones.
From last.
They're clones.
Yeah.
But
Terry Riley's a good
Bosch
guy.
couldn't have fancied. He didn't have a suit on.
He had nothing on.
Nothing on. Terry Riley, though, getting back to him, left back for Celtic as a junior.
Not left back in the change room.
No, he was a great footballer, Terry Riley, and it's good to see that he's kept in shape.
Okay, well, someone who really kept in shape is who we got on your call tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nicola Copes.
Yeah, from Balmoral Stud. Yeah. They've getting to be big players around the country now.
You know, she is an international event rider for Ireland.
Is that right? Eh?
Yeah.
I would have thought with the accent it would have been Ireland, wouldn't have been Lebanon.
Well, you Irish as well, aren't you?
Of course, you can hear the lilt in our voices.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think we should move on. What do you think?
Let's move on to three to follow.
Look at three to follow. Well, great having the Slacks on Winning Ways. We've got Mary and Jessica and Maritzfontein and Wilgerbos-Drift will be sharing the slot over the foreseeable future, and should be quite fun because we're going to change it a little bit. We might end up putting up some of their yearlings to have a look at that. They're
absolutely
going for yearling sales.
Very good of them to sponsor, you know, and they're both major players in the industry, so very good.
Well, let's kick off with the first three to follow. And funnily enough, it comes off Maritzfontein and by the resident stallion there, Ideal World. So we're going to go to Turfentine, 11th of October, and have a look at the first race, Hawker Hunter.
Yeah, here's Hawker Hunter.
Hawker Hurricane.
Sorry, Hawker Hurricane. James, thank you. Here's Hawker Hurricane and walks out the gate. Looks a big horse by Ideal World and has no idea what racing's about. And in fact, there were two horses who caught the eye in this race. The runner-up, Michael Aziz or Scarlet Ice. And we elected to go for Hawker Hurricane because very, very green all the way through.
Well, they're in front of each other and behind each other, if that makes any sense, but there's an Irish program today.
Yeah.
So in the reds, black sleeves getting pushed along on the left of your screen. On the fence is Michael Aziz filly owned by the Wallaces. And on the outside of that, in the sort of light colours, is Hawker Hurricane.
Yeah, the winner is out in front. A very good win for David Nevenez and Bling Kumalo's riding it for Michael Leaf. And this wins very well. Dictates from the front and nothing else really gets a blow. And so from here on, they're racing for second because this horse wins comfortably. But the two that we found are, you can see the yellowish cap, and Michael's horse just in front of it is Scarlet Ice, who quickens up much better. But when the penny drops on this big horse, it's a very good third.
Well, Michael's filly, Scarlet Letter, is about sixth at this stage coming through, and directly behind her is Hawker Hurricane with long loping strides, gets a right-handed smack there from Waishong in the sort of white colours, white and yellow colours. By this time, Michael's filly's gone. The Leaf's filly is clear and going to win it easily. But watch your two first-timers, and you can follow them both next time. I think that the Black Melaleuche will improve. And the Ideal World, here she comes flying now to run third.
Yeah, the penny dropped late, and she looks like she'll want a trip. But well done to the winner, but keep an eye on both the runner-up and the third horse. Okay,
we're going to move on, and Turfentine again. Lucky Hoodalakis. This is a very good trainer, Lucky Hoodalakis. He's trained JJ the Jet Plane with aplomb. And he stepped out of filly in the third race. She by Dynasty, who was bred at Wilgerbos-Drift, as you know, and Did this absolutely canter it.
This was very impressive. Out of Fading Light, James? You know Fading Light?
Ormond Ferraris trained Fading Light and owned it, and I think it won the South African Oaks, if I'm not... you know, she's been quite a good mare, Fading Light, but this is a nice filly.
This is a very, very nice. Let's go and have a look at this horse here. And the Greek hang glider, Lucky trains it. Drifting Dusk. You can see it coming out of trap 3. Bounces out and gets into the vanguard quickly because they're going at that corner.
Yeah, they're bowling along. The rest of this field, well, Girlfriend arrived from KwaZulu-Natal, and that's taking a tug on the outside of this filly, Drifting Dusk. But when you see this filly quicken up, you'll see what we mean about this being something special. This is a really, really good filly. And she's sitting second at the moment. Girlfriend's in front. She's sitting second in the Michael Leaf colours. So Michael Leaf getting a lot of exposure. He had a good day, actually.
Yeah, a lot of coverage. And Michael Leaf has got ML Jet, who's a real top
contender.
Horse. Yeah, and here, just here, they asked this horse to run, and it's ridden by Gavlarina. And it absolutely pulverizes this field. This is a very nice horse. Drifting Dusk, remember the name.
Yeah, quickens up. Nothing else gets a blow. A couple of first-timers didn't run badly, but you know, maybe Direct the Dance in the orange colours, that ran well. But this absolutely paralysed them. And I think this filly's got a lot of potential to win its maiden by 7 or 8 lengths the way that did. Yeah. Very good filly.
Very nice, nicely bred horse, good wonderful pedigree, and well done to Lucky Hoodalakis and of course the rider. Gavlarina, but that's the second of our 3 to follow. Let's go on to the third one.
Right, the third one we go to Greyville on the 12th. That was yesterday, Sunday, and the first time All True Man stepped out. I think it was in the second race, Black. Was it the third race?
It was the third, I think.
Third race, All True Man. Yeah, third race. It was a maiden plate, and they went 1,400 meters. Have a look at this. This might be something to have a look at.
This is in the Bram van Heesteen colours. Patrick Lund, the trainer. By Tiger Ridge, this horse. Again, the link to
Wilgerbos. Yeah, that's very
slow out the gate. Just walks out the gate. And funny enough, so does the winner. The winner is a horse called Nottingham Forest who sits back. But the rider here is Stewie Randolph. He manages to urge this horse to get into the race and get into the bus and get position. So it doesn't know much about racing, but it is on the fence being guarded around. You can see the yellow with the purple spots. Now being niggled at all the time, just ahead of your eventual winner who's right behind it.
Yeah, they're going some type of clip here. Mike de Kock had a first timer for the Sheikh Maktoum. It was Sheikh Hamdan. Let's Go West. That ran quite a nice race, but that was in front of this first timer and finished behind it. So you can see this horse of Brahms colours in the yellow with the black spots. He was getting scrubbed along there. Now he's getting scrubbed along again. Really doesn't know what's going on.
James, another interesting horse is the runner-up Entree. It gets caught in a pocket here. You can see it. Kevin Shea's got nowhere to go on Entree. And
the black with the yellow hoops.
Yeah. Absolutely. This runs second, so also keep an eye on Entree. Kevin gets it out when the race is over. The horse we've picked out is down the inside. The winner, Nottingham Forest, is there. It's a great debut run. And then Entree gets a run, a very good run considering the problems. But what a wonderful debut by the third horse.
You might actually find this quite a strong race because the fourth horse, the Lonsdale, I think is quite a good horse as well. And he looked very green and he's come back from about a 9-month break. He ran behind Africa Burn. This form line might work out quite good. This horse, Nottingham Forest, ran 3 seconds and he could be quite useful.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a good form race as well. So that's our 3 to follows. Done and dusted.
Let's go and have a look at Blast from the Past. We're going to be having a look at a Beau Art winning the 1980 Rothmans July.
Right, give me a race.
Flirtation coming on, and flirtation has won it. She's tearing them apart in the drama from the Summer Cup. A superb win by Emma de Vitoria.
Mother Russia, there's no stopping true class.
achieve success at racing, you need a lot of things. Money, information, money, nerve, perspicacity, money, and lots of luck. A select few start with nothing and make millions. These are known as provincial administrators. Without a doubt, Lady Luck plays a significant role in racing success. Lady Luck with her array of omens, signs, and portents. Allow us to introduce a man whose very existence is ruled by a lucky omen. His name is Bell. Mr. Bell is a bell fanatic. His entire life has been influenced by bells, a phenomenon first noticed at his very birth in July 1946, the year the big race was won by St. Paul's. Born in Belleville, he now lives at the Chimes, Bel Air. At school, he was known as Ding Dong. As head prefect, he rang the school bell. He could never resist ringing doorbells and running away, often running faster than Hell's bells. He married merely to enjoy the church bells. His wife is Bella, and she's very belligerent. And here he is in 1980, seeking yet another winner with a bell association, whilst eyeing the bells of fashion. He told this charmer she had a cute figure, but she didn't hold it against him. Her perfume was so potent, to buy it, she needed a blaster's license. They've just enjoyed a hot dog. That's the only animal that feeds the hand that bites it. With dresses, you can make a hit or a boob. Aha, we see something. It's crochet, but not touche. The connections of Strike It Rich. And the Cape Met winner, Sunshine Man. The Rand Challenger, Anytime Baby. 40 Winks. And his stable companion, World News. Tamer Bluff from the Cape. Denim Dandy from the Rand. Outsider, Outswinger. And another in Tandega. Mrs. Edith Overstone and Garth Puller for Over the Air. Statesman. Our Mr. Bell had finally concluded that only two horses had a bell connotation this year. Over the Air and, since Beau is the French masculine of Belle, Beau Art. They're out and they're running. It was a great start for the majority. Tamer Bluff, Anytime Baby, and World News first to show. Over the Air was thrown to his stride. Furious and the Monster, the back markers. And here they are coming up the hills of the drill hall and settling into their strides. Tamer Bluff leads the way from World News, Outswinger, Deep Magic, Ton Up, Denim Dandy, with Beau Art and Anytime Baby in behind them. Then came Strike It Rich, Tandega, Artistry, 40 Winks, Statesman, Sunshine Man, and the backmarkers of this stage being Over the Air, the Monster, and Furious. There they go. Tamer Bluff showing the way to World News, Outswinger, Deep Magic, Ton Up, Denim Dandy. At the back, the Monster. Over the Air is still back about 3/4 of the way. Down the hill and coming up between the bends. Between the bends, Tamer Bluff opened up a lead of several lengths over World News, Deep Magic, Ton Up, Outswinger, and Denim Dandy, with Beau Art and Anytime Baby close up in a ready-to-strike position. Over the Air was still traveling about 12th, 2/3 down the field. Way out in front. 3-4 lengths, Tamer Bluff. Coming into the final bend, Tamer Bluff was still in command, but coming back to World News, Deep Magic Turn-Up, Outswinger, Anytime Baby was 6th, Denim Dandy 7th, Boat 8th, and Over the Air way back with a lot to do. Into the straight with 400 to go, Tamer Bluff was feeling her leg, and Turn-Up took over with Denim Dandy going well. Anytime Baby improving on the inside rail, and Boat coming forward in the center of the course. Then Anytime Baby hit the rail. At the 200 mark, Turn-Up was a nose in front of Anytime Baby, Boat half a length behind and galloping strongly. Denim Dandy staying on well in a cracking finish, Over the Air and Furious flying up from the rear. In a superb finish, Boat crossed the line with a length to spare from Anytime Baby, Denim Dandy, Over the Air and Furious. And wished a happy birthday to Freddie McCaskill, whose 26th anniversary this day was. Happy birthday, Freddie. With the result confirmed and the victor sash adjusted, Boat took off to show his beguiling paces to the smiling faces. Mrs. Davy thanked the chairman for her 74,000 rand with a tender gesture, and he, having lost his boots on Turn-Up, gave her a touch. And off cycled the happy Mr. Bell with his bells and bows, ecstatic to learn that this epic saga has been awarded the 1980 Nobel Prize.
Well, there you go.
Looks like the first Rothmans July run at night.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
First night meeting. The lights weren't really that bright.
No, they weren't.
Turning
But
it was straight.
we've tried to get it a better copy, but it's the best copy we've got. But it's well worth listening to that man doing the commentary.
Well, he is so funny. Keith Taylor.
Is that Keith
Yeah,
Taylor?
yeah,
Outstanding.
yeah, he's
outstanding, yeah.
Yeah, but something more outstanding than that was the plum of the week. Let's go and have a look at that.
Into the home straight now, coming down to the last 400 metres. Down the centre, Gasoline, Hey What, Albertville on the outside. Then comes Fabrizio now as they come down with 300 to go. Tamarind is running on pretty strongly then. And it's Gasoline, Tamarind is a big danger on the outside. It's Gasoline who's in front, but Tamarind is coming home strongly on the outside. Gasoline being kept running by Mowing. And Gasoline, what a good race. From in second, Tamarind. Sunny Bill flew up at third, then Hey What. In behind that, Albertville.
Now, why we picked out Gasoline is not only did we give it to you a couple of weeks ago as one of the three to follow, but more importantly, the word on the racetrack was that it wasn't strongly fancied. And the television presenters, I think it was Julie and maybe Molly or Lyle, said they were not very much confidence about
That's the
this
feedback
horse.
they were getting.
They were getting that from the Van Rensburg stable. And the interesting thing was that I watched Interbet. I made it a good thing.
Yeah.
And you could have got 33 to 10 and 7 to 2 about this horse at the death. He opened up 9 to 10, this horse. 22 to 10 freely available, 5 to 2, until when the comments came on, it started drifting from 15 to 10 out. And when the comments came that this and that, now they're not, but this is a nice horse there.
Very nice. Teofilio. James, what was interesting was the runner-up. I know we had three to follow, but the runner-up, Tamarin, runs a brilliant race.
He's certainly worth following next time as well, Tamarin. And we'll have a close look at him. Let's go and have a look at current affairs.
We want to get the best odds on horse racing and sporting events. For every bet requested, we review all the bookmakers and select the one with the best odds. As a result, you always get the best odds. Interbet offers tote betting, fixed odd multiples, and betting with your mobile phone. To get started, all you need to do is register by filling in your personal information. Log into your account and start wagering.
Hi and welcome to another edition of Current Affairs. No group racing around South Africa, so we've had to pick up news from everywhere. But we have managed to pick up a race we thought was very, very interesting, a Cesarovic. We've got about 600 metres of the Cesarovic. And the interesting part about this race, James, is the O'Brien connection.
Well, we're sticking with the Irish theme today. You know,
Yes.
we've got Fitzgerald's on the show, we've got the O'Briens on the show. So, you know, let's have a look at what happened in this race, and then you can tell them the story, because it's a fascinating story. Let's go and have a look.
Right.
El Salvador is next with Cliff House, and they're followed by Hidden Universe, with tracking them as Zeus Magic, Grecian Tiger on the outside. Zayden is next with Marches Marconi towards the inside. He'll be remembered in Clondor Warrior, followed by Ted Veal and Hassel. Racing now to approach the turn into the straight in the Irish Cesarovic. Winter Lion leads from Ronak. Morga on the inside, Ashbury Boss. Hidden Universe, El Salvador on the outside, followed by Cliff House and Marches Marconi. Grecian Tiger towards their outside, and they're being followed by Clondor Warrior and Ted Veal on the inside. Winter Line now pressed by El Salvador, coming there on the near side. On the far side, Hidden Universe with Marches Marconi. They're racing now towards the final furlong, and it's El Salvador on the near side, Donnacha O'Brien. Hidden Universe, Pat Smullen, Marches Marconi on the inside. They're inside the last 150 yards. El Salvador on the near side, running up towards the finish. El Salvador and Donnacha O'Brien will win the Cesarovic. In second place is Hidden Universe, close third Ashbury Boss with He'll Be Remembered.
Well, there we go. Interesting race we're showing you, because the winning rider is young Donnacha O'Brien, who is the 16-year-old son of the trainer Aidan O'Brien. Amazing.
So he's got like this conveyor belt of kids that are coming out that he's going to
Good
be
Catholic.
using as his stable jockeys. And
Yes. He's
so
got- hasn't he
Ryan
got a-
Moore is now gone.
Hasn't he got a daughter that rides as
They've
well?
got a daughter as well.
He's got Joseph, who
Yeah.
ran third in that race. Joseph was
Well, he looks like he's giving the brother the go ahead, boy.
But you looked at the ride, you could always see him in the orange silks there, James, on El Salvador.
Yeah, he gave the outside to nobody. Made sure that nobody got the outside from him. That was probably his instructions. And I think if he'd been 6 years old, he could have won on it. But
James,
good luck to them.
He had his first winner a month ago, young Donnacha. And as you say, it's a conveyor belt of riders coming through. I know they all have a little bit, will all have problems a little to do with their weight. And
Is this kid tall and
I don't know what
skinny as
size
well?
he is, but he's 16. They've got him in there at 16 and riding a winner.
Well, that's a system there. You know, you can go and be an apprentice to a stable, and you work there. And if you're any good, you'll end up getting some rides. And if you're any good on those rides, you'll end up, getting more rides.
Yeah.
And that's how the system works there. And I think it's fantastic to produce horsemen, because that's what they produce.
Yeah,
Great horsemen.
Because Irish are famous for great horsemen. You can go back and just name them, they roll off your tongue. But this is a new one, Donnacha O'Brien. So I think Aidan took a bit of criticism for throwing Joseph in the deep end early. Do you think it could happen with this guy?
No, I think this guy will just cruise along in his brother's footsteps, and then when he's ready, when Joseph's too heavy, which he is almost already, this guy will take over.
Right, staying with the O'Briens, they've decided to retire Australia. Australia, as you know, was the dual Derby winner, won the Irish Derby, won the Epsom Derby, and he won another Group 1 the other day. He got injured, James.
Yeah, there was pictures of his hind foot. He had almost a crack across the top of the coronet, or just below the coronet, which they weren't making any progress with. And but what came out of the press release is that they've always said he's the best horse they've ever had there, or one of the best horses they've ever had there.
right.
So they obviously think a lot of this horse, and he'll probably be pushed with a lot of good mares at stud.
It's a big statement to make for a horse that won 5 of 8, and every year they've got the Camelots, they've had great horses go through their hands, James, and so it's a big statement. And I think for those breeders out there who are going to try and get to this the son of Galileo out of the Cape Cross mare Ouija board, it's a pedigree to die for, James.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the best of everything. And Coolmore, go back to Coolmore, so another one to join the factory.
Yeah, that was retired. Unretired was Treve. You know, she was retired after the Arc, but now she's been unretired.
They're going for a third Arc. They've decided to have another bash with her, and why not? Why
Absolutely. I think it's fantastic sportsmanship and great for the horse racing business that you race these horses. All too quickly do they want to retire them to the paddocks so that they can make all
Big
that money.
That's a debate in itself, James.
Yeah.
Over the years, especially the Irish, have had their champions. If you go back, I think Lamptara only had 4 runs and went off to stud, was just getting into his prime. And people like Frankel decided to have an extra year. And the same owners had Kingman that decided to run without going extra year. Where did they make this call? What their paddock value is going to be?
I think that it depends on the horse too. If the horse is uncomplicated and looks like he's getting better, and Retrieve definitely looks like she's, got it right.
Yeah.
And I think fillies is easier than with colts, because the colts is going to go to stud and cover 120 mares at 100,000 a jump. That's a hell of a lot of money. You can't earn that racing.
Yeah.
So
it's a fiscal decision at the end of the day in most cases.
Yeah, but fantastic to see that she's going to come back for the thing, and good for our sponsors, because I'm glad they put that up, because they got a new sale, Bloodstock South Africa, and the thoroughbred breeders, Val de Vie sale, 22nd of February.
In Frank's Corner.
At Frank's Corner, Front Hook, which is, for those of you that speak the mother language, not the Irish, like they can't say what. So it's Frank's Corner, which is just outside Cape Town. But Val de Vie is a beautiful farm, beautiful estate, wine estate. And
22nd of February.
Susan Rowlett's decided to put on this sale for the Cape breeders that are supporters of the TBA, and I think it's wonderful, and it will be great to be able to go down there for a sale then.
That's right, because year in and year out, we always used to go down for a sale down that neck of the woods with Bloodstock SA.
Yeah, so fantastic for that, and we wish them everything of the best and all the support in the world for the Bloodstock South Africa Val de Vie sale on the 22nd of February. Talking about the 22nd of February, it's a big day, because in Singapore, they're having the richest race they've ever had on the 22nd of February, which is in the Chinese New Year, apparently. Okay. They announced this race in conjunction with China Horse Club, which is the authority that runs China horse racing. And anyone has established that China is the burgeoning market of the future.
Yeah, there's no doubt, James. What's very, very interesting, China are going to be big players. There's no doubt about it. So they've got into bed with Singapore, and what's it, $2.4 million?
Yeah, $2.4 million. Race in Singapore. They're going to make it a Chinese week or whatever. And at this whole annual dinner that they had where they announced this, and it was in Singapore, interesting players.
Who were the players who committed?
Well, we had Racing New South Wales.
Yeah.
We had the Singapore Turf Club, obviously. We had China Horse Club. We had the Irish Thoroughbred Racing Club. They were there. The France Gallop, which is the Frenchman. John Magnier was there. And the Mauritius Turf Club.
Oh, well done to them.
Oh.
So, James, the reason we should have someone there. I know we can't get our horses to the race unless it's planned away in advance.
Pat Shaw there.
We got Singapore, but shouldn't we have some of our top players going to those type of meals and those type of banquets?
Well, I would have thought so. I think that this is a market that we should be really looking very closely at, and as far as making any inroads, because our horses are the most
competent,
value for money horses, if I can say that, on the globe.
Do you know what it would do to the whole industry if internationally we could move them, move them to China, or move them anywhere? You know what it would do to breeders, the long-suffering breeders, getting a fair crack for all their horses?
Talking about China or the East, Tony Millard stepped out a very nice horse in Shartin.
He bought this from Magic Millions, and they were talking about it before it came out, and keep an eye on it. You know, what is it called?
Divine Calling.
Divine
Stratum.
By Stratum's a top stallion.
Yeah.
Top stallion.
Yeah.
We've had a few out here.
It debuted, it was an ordinary race, but they're talking in the press about this being one of the horses to follow through the season.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And then Duke of Marmalade.
Duke of Marmalade's at it again. He had a Group 3 winner, first and second actually.
Yes.
They ran 1-2 in the race, 2 Duke of Marmalades. And he's standing here at Drockenstein. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, Duke of Marmalade's doing some.
That was in Italy,
things.
San
Yes.
Siro. Okay, that I think it was the Big Guineas or one of those big meetings of theirs, and I think it was trained in Germany. This horse.
Yeah.
And the other big race in San Siro was a Loop de Vega one, who's a first season sire, but it's out of a De Lamy mare.
Okay, so
Isn't
there's a bit of
quite
interest there.
fascinating, yeah.
Right, the Schofield family are back in the news. Glyn
Have they done anything good lately?
They've done plenty of good lately, then, but they unfortunately have done a bit of bad. And Glyn Schofield admitted that he had made a mistake and ridden recklessly or carelessly, and he's off till the 24th of October. So him and his son Chad, who's currently sitting out along suspension, will both be out together. They've got time to do something.
Well, they could have father and son weekends, fishing
Bonding.
and bonding, yeah, fishing and doing all those type of things that fathers and sons do. Camping, they can go to Ayers Rock in Australia. That's quite
right.
a fun place.
Go
to
look at
apparently.
dingoes.
Go and look at dingoes.
That's
it's not
right.
like in Australia. You haven't got the Kruger National Park and things like that. Where you can go and have a proper weekend. There you've got to go and barbie.
Yeah.
With a lot of parakeets and.
Don't worry, they've got the most, I think 10 of the most dangerous animals on the planet with regard to spiders and reptiles.
Maybe something will get them.
Come from Australia. Don't worry. I read a book on Australia by Bull Bryson, and it was quite enlightening. James, that's all I've got because there's no international.
No, well, that's,
no racing.
that looks like it's obviously what it's all about. We'll be chatting, as I say, next time will be the Balmoral head honcho, Nicola Copes. Well, as promised, we have a very special guest today in the form of Nicola Copes from Balmoral Stud. Now, there will be those of you out there who don't know much about Nicola and don't know much about Balmoral Stud, but this industry, this horse business that we're in, is made up of a number of components. And one of the most important components is getting horses ready for a sale and showing how they gallop. Well, this is what Balmoral Stud does. And Nicola, you've made big waves in the last few years. You haven't been here long.
No, we've been doing this about 6 years in South Africa.
Before that?
I train race horses, still have my license in Ireland.
Yeah, now apparently your family, the Fitzgeralds, quite a famous family. Your father was a trainer?
Yeah, he trained a long time ago. He's retired quite a few years. He still breeds in a small way. And I have a couple of cousins who are jump jockeys also.
Well, the interesting jump jockey that I want to chat to you about is Mick Fitzgerald, because I met him many years ago at Nicky Henderson's. I've been quite friends with him, and he was the stable rider for the Hendersons.
Yeah, he's tough.
He's tough.
He is very tough, yeah.
But I saw him about a year ago at Cheltenham, and he's doing all types of talk shows. He talks to people, doesn't he?
That's right. He's on a lot of talk shows because he retired from jump riding, and he wasn't really interested in training.
Yeah, but he's a good talker, Mick.
Yes, I think most people are from Ireland.
Okay, well, glad that you're a good talker, but going back a little before that, polo ponies, you got involved with Mark, your husband.
Yeah, I was a 3-day eventer.
Yeah.
Had a few accidents, broke my back and had some fusions. My brother has his own polo team in Ireland, and he said, why don't you give polo a go as well as training? So I did, and Mark was brought over to play polo for my brother, and the rest is history. We moved to South Africa.
Why did you move to South Africa and not stay in Ireland?
I changed from the family industry, from family umbrella, just to go out and do something ourselves. So we originally came over to Plettenberg Bay, bought a farm there, and we're producing polo ponies off the track and selling them into Ireland and Europe. Then, unfortunately, we had a plane load of ponies that couldn't get out due to African horse sickness.
So even you, this quarantine, this whole quarantine thing has really stopped your career as it was at that stage.
Yeah, we had to return those, or keep the horses, find replacements, because we had sold them in euros to Europe and England, and find replacements elsewhere.
Quite a lucrative business, this polo business, wasn't it? You had something called Platinum Polo, was
Platinum
that
Polo, that's correct, yeah.
And did you actually play yourself?
Yes, I played up to level of 2. Yeah.
You got to 2 golds. Quite useful. You're probably a bloody ringer off at 2 as well. Probably.
I think I was a little bit rough on the field.
I remember someone called Tomlinson in England.
Yes, the Tomlinson family. They're very big in polo.
And she was as tough as bloody
cookie.
nails.
Very tough.
What was her name?
I'm trying to remember her first name.
Gosh, I'll think of it anyway. She was. I played against her and her brother, and they were really wild. You know, there were a couple of wild people that came out of that country. Argentinians are much less wild, aren't they? They just
well, on the field they look more fluent, I suppose. That they're the top end Argentinian polo players are very fluent, but when you get to the lower end, it's a bit different.
Did you play polo in Argentina?
Yes, I played a number of times in Argentina as well.
And Mark, obviously.
Mark hasn't played in Argentina yet. No,
hasn't
yet.
he?
No.
Is he still playing polo?
No, we don't have time anymore. We're full up all the time with the breeze ups.
Okay, so what happened fortuitously at the time? It must have felt like the end of the world, that you couldn't get these horses out because of African horse sickness, and you thought to yourself, what do we do now?
Well, I'd always wanted back into racing, so we had a discussion. It was either going back to Ireland or coming closer to Mark's family, who are based outside of Durban. So we decided and bought a farm here, started pre-training, and then realised our niche was really breeze-up speciality. And I think this country lacks that. There really isn't anyone who's a specific breeze-up specialist like ourselves.
Okay, how did you find a piece of land? You know, Moy River's a vast area. And why Moy River? Why not closer to Durban?
Don't know. We looked around and something about this farm spoke to us. 60 years it hadn't been used as a horse farm. I think it had been owned by the Taylors.
Okay.
And I think Alistair Gordon did tell us a couple of July winners had been bred on the farm. So it wasn't horse sick. It was very run down. And it's taken us a good 4 years to build it up, and we've got it to sort of the level we would like it.
And this is your business, is actually breaking horses, getting them ready for gallops so that they can get filmed and put on these sales.
Exactly, specifically for the breezing,
You've just had a very good sale in Cape Town.
Yes, we have, yes. We
Tell
had the largest draft in Cape Town with 31 horses. We sold all but one. One we brought home. I think we were correct. We were either top or second top vendor. I haven't actually checked the stats. We did very well. We got $500,000 for a Rockefort Shell, our first season stallion. 150 for an Argonaut colt, which is quite good at the present moment in time with regards to Argonauts. We sold an Archipenko very well, over the $1 million. So generally across the board, we were happy with the sale.
Okay, Nicola, there are obviously problems with getting horses ready to run sales. Give us some of those, the horses get shin sore. Do they get shin sore with you?
Generally, touch wood, they don't.
Yeah.
We have got 4 tracks on the farm, and what we do is on our grass tracks at this time of the year, we cover them in the shavings out of the stables. So it's actually a lovely soft cushion. It's not deep, but there's a nice cushion, so there's no compression. And we do a lot of long, slow fitting work with our horses. We like them in the programme minimum 5 months. We don't like to take them late. Now there are 3 or 4 which we have taken late into the programme, but I'm not comfortable doing that. I don't think we'll do that in future.
So basically, it takes 5 months to get a
Yeah.
horse ready for the ready-to-run sale or for the
For
filming,
the,
which
for
is
the breeze up sale,
Yeah.
the way we like them to breeze.
Yeah.
Now, there's no clock in South Africa, which is very thankful.
Yeah.
Whereas, as you know, in Europe and in the States, it's all by the clock.
Yeah.
You don't want that to come in here.
Yeah.
But the horses are comfortable to go at that speed. They are balanced, and they're not pushed. They go at their own speed.
It's a double-edged sword, the clock, isn't it? Because if you get a horse that does 10.3 seconds
Yeah.
for the last furlong, it sells for millions.
Yeah, it
okay?
does. It's specifically in America.
Yeah,
Not so much in Europe. But I don't think we should have it here.
because it gives a horse a chance, a slow-maturing horse or a horse that might not be that quick
Yeah,
to actually
exactly.
gallop and not be
Yeah.
put off by the clock.
Yeah, and you don't want to destroy them in the process either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we like them for the longer length of time, where they're brought along very slowly.
Yeah.
And they actually tell you when they're ready to take the next level. We do take x-rays before we, of the weight-bearing knee joints,
Yeah.
before we do faster work.
Okay.
Any homebreds or any horses that have not been on a sale, we scope before we take them to the sales as well. We had wanted to do overland scopes with them all this year, but it was working out to be very, very expensive.
Kip Elsa is a guy you met early on in your
That's
business.
correct.
He's been,
He's my mentor, yeah.
yeah.
I'll speak to Kip a lot. He's actually coming over to the TBA sale in November. Sorry,
Yeah,
November.
end of the month. I
Yes,
think it's
yeah.
it's the Sunday sale, the 1st of November.
That's right, yeah.
And you're the biggest vendor on this sale.
We are, that's
Yeah.
correct.
It's going to be very interesting. We're going to talk about some of your horses now that are coming up on the sale, but let's first just have a look and see what won for Magic Millions over the past week, and we're going to have a look at them. There are a couple: Danish Zealot, Roy Royale, Royal Security Power. They all won over the week, and Roy Mudley's having a tremendous run with these horses. And while we put up the slide, you've been to Magic Millions and obviously buy a lot of pinhooks there at the weaning sale.
Yeah, we've been to Magic Millions, but these particular horses we bought at another sale in Australia.
Yeah,
The first one you're going to see is lot 27.
yeah,
He's a Bernardini colt, and as everybody knows, Bernardini has broken the records in America, where he's produced the most stakes and grip winners ever for a first season sire. We did sell a Bernardini filly last year at the TBA sale.
What
and
did she fetch?
Brett Crawford actually is training her. She hasn't had a run yet. She was a little bit too immature for the sale.
Yeah.
But this colt's different. He's much more forward.
Well, let's get him up on the screen. Can we get up the Bernardini lot 27? I'll get him out of my catalogue so I can have a look at him.
Yeah, he's
And
out of
he's out of a mare called Coffee Shop, who's by Silver Ghost.
Buster Prospector line. As we said earlier about the Bernardinis, what they're producing.
Well, he's certainly been a fantastic horse, Bernardini, and you bought this horse in Australia, brought him back here.
Yes.
Takes you, 3 months to get them back here?
This is why we like the January sale,
Yeah,
whereas we can actually get them in early.
Yeah.
We get them in March time.
yeah.
So that gives us enough time.
Okay, so, and he would be one of the best horses on the sale.
I think he's should in effect, theoretically, be one of the best horses on the sale. He and a couple of others which we'll mention. The second one, I believe, is the I'm Invincible filly.
Yeah, now, I'm Invincible is a very interesting horse. That is, no, that's not the I'm Invincible, is that?
No, sorry, this is the
second one,
this
the
is
55. This is the Silvano out of Inspired. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a Silvano out of Impressed, black type mare, and he's very, very smart Silvano colt.
Well, she's a Fasliev mare, and she's produced already a 6-time Giants Causeway winner. I'm just reading the catalogue here. And this is a pretty good family.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice family, and he's a very impressive colt.
He certainly looks, the Silvanos take a bit of time to come to hand. He looks like
more
quite quick, quite forward, this horse.
He's much more forward.
And the gallops, obviously, let's just change tack a little, because the gallops are on Thursday.
Thursday
your
the
farm?
16th at Yellow Star beside us
Yeah.
at 11 o'clock.
Okay, 11 o'clock, we've got to
Yeah.
be there.
11
What
o'clock.
What are you giving us? Because normally it's bloody cold, it's bloody miserable, and it's not, but
We will have Irish coffees ready for you
Irish coffees.
on arrival.
Okay,
Or if it's warm, there's champagne, there's finger food.
Okay.
There is a sit-down lunch
Yeah.
after the gallops.
Yeah.
We will try to have the gallops going a minute. Every minute there'll be another horse coming.
Okay.
We're galloping a lot order number
Okay.
to make it easier for the
I think
potential
that's
buyer.
fantastic, fantastic idea.
Yeah. Rather than doing in groups of gallops. So it's a lot order number, starting with lot 1 right through to the end.
And Nicola, if there are people out there that might never have been to gallops and think that they, sort of forbidden ground, but they're
No,
not.
everybody, they're welcome.
Anyone can go.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
We've got 170 RSVPs already, so
Okay.
we're catering for a lot of people.
So it's going to be the biggest party in the Midlands
I
this
think
year.
so.
Yeah.
And we've got an Irish band as well to
The
end off
Barney
the evening.
Brothers.
No, it's not the Barney Brothers.
Oh, we love the Barney Brothers.
I
They
couldn't
were
get
from our
them booked.
childhood.
They already were booked up. I'm sorry.
So you got another Irish band, a secondary Irish band.
Another Irish band, yeah.
What do they play? Ukuleles and that type of thing.
No, it's a single. It's a guy on his own, and he's superb. We used him last year.
Okay.
He was very, very good.
Okay. And what else can we look forward to?
Wonderful food. You're going to see fantastic horses gallop, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be Ambleway galloping with us, Far
Yeah.
End Training are galloping with us, and Green Hill Farm, and Yellow Star, of course.
Yeah. So they're the 5 big
Yeah.
supporters of the
Yeah.
sale, and they're all going to be galloping
Yeah.
there. So it's a great day. I've got it penciled in.
I think we've 112 horses that will
112
gallop.
horses
Yeah.
at a minute a gallop.
We're hoping, that's what we did last year. Every minute one will come through.
Okay, so that's 2 hours of gallops.
Yeah.
Then
and
we're going to be hungry.
Then you'll have lunch,
Yeah.
and then,
And then we have the
musical
Irish
starts.
band.
Yeah.
And
then a split bri later.
and apparently no one leaves there until
The small hours. of
or
the
if you battle to leave there, there'll be a place to sleep, won't there?
We've booked out all the accommodation in the area, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
So everyone will find a place to
Yeah.
stay over the night, and then wake up to that Midlands crisp, brisk
Nice misty
air.
morning.
Yeah, and be able to wander off back to Durban or
And
Joburg
well,
or
I
wherever.
think Dees has organised 2 or 3 minibuses from Durban,
Yeah.
and we all have also organised some drivers if there are people that need to get to their B&B for whatever reason.
It sounds like something that can't
Yeah.
be missed.
Yeah, well, we hope it's a big day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this ready-to-run, the whole ready-to-run concept is great. It gives you a chance to have a look at them.
Yeah.
And if you think you know what you're doing, you can go and buy a horse that has galloped already. It's had
Exactly.
the saddle on. Not-
And in effect, they should be close or a few months off racing. So it's very good, particularly if you have someone newish coming in to buy a racehorse.
Yeah.
This is quite a good way for them to buy in, rather than buying a yearling, where they're going to have to wait a year and a half.
Let's go and have a look at lot 48.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next one we've got. And this is the I'm Invincible.
Invincible,
Now,
yeah.
I'm very interested in I'm Invincible. When we were in Australia in June, they were very, very popular, the I'm Invincibles, because champion first season sire in Australia.
That's exactly right. We were so lucky to slipped in with this one.
And that was before they'd
I
even
think
run.
someone was asleep.
Yeah, but they hadn't even run then, I don't think.
No, they hadn't.
Yeah. Now, the guys who own I'm Invincible are great friends of ours, the Mitchell boys.
Okay.
They're Harry and Bill and them, and they own Yarraman Park.
Oh, okay,
And they
yeah.
told us a story about I'm Invincible. They were looking for a stallion, and they wanted something that had a pedigree and would produce some speed.
Okay.
And everyone said to them that they were mad to take I'm Invincible. Well, I cannot understand it, because he's by Invincible Spirit, who's probably one of the most top 5 prepotent sires in the world at the moment,
Yes.
Invincible Spirit. And he's a source of great speed. He's the Green Desert sire
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like about him.
Well, I mean, he's throwing the goods out, this horse.
Yeah. Can we get that picture up again, or you've
Yeah.
finished? Can you not put it up again? That's such a good picture. Anyway, you'll have to PVR back to it. This one's out of a Lonhro mare. There she is. She is magnificent, this filly. Good short cannons.
Good short cannon. She's got the amazing hindquarter. She's got unbelievable temperament, very laid back.
Stands over a lot of ground. She's got a great hind quarter on her. She's just what you'd like to see in a horse. You know, this looks like a ready-made runner. How's she gallop?
She gallops well. Hopefully she'll gallop beautifully on Thursday. Her practice was very, very good.
Okay, now she's out of a mare by Lonro, as I said, and she's a half-sister to multiple stakes winners. So
Yeah.
there's a good pedigree.
And she's only it's a young family, it's only a second foal. So
Very, very nice indeed. Right, let's go and have a look at the last one we've got a picture of, lot 56. And this is by another Australian stallion.
yeah, Al Mahir,
Yeah.
who had, I believe it was 4 stakes and listed winners over one weekend alone in Australia. He's a first season sire, and he's throwing out the listed winners.
Interesting in this pedigree, I see Opera House, who
Yeah.
was the head of
Half-sister
the
to
European
Necklace.
classification. So there's a very good pedigree. Looks a bit more scopy. Looks like he's going to take a bit longer.
She will do.
Oh, that's a she.
Yeah, she's a
absolutely.
filly as well.
Yeah.
She will take a little bit more time. She's not just as precocious. But as you see, she's out of the half-sister to Necklace,
Yeah.
which actually goes down to the fourth dam to Mullins Bay.
Yeah.
She's something quite special about her. She moves like poetry, but she's not going to be quick to come to hand. A little bit more time than the Am Invincible.
Okay, she's what is interesting about her is she's by a Daniel horse, okay, and her dad's name's Irish Blarney.
Yeah.
Considering the connection, you could give
I
her
didn't
quite
buy
a
her
good.
because of that.
You could give her quite a good name,
We could, but we leave that to the potential
which
buyer.
I mean, the buyer
Yeah.
could give her
Yeah.
quite a nice name.
Yeah.
You know?
Very much so.
The Blarney brothers, the Blarney sisters. Do you know the Blarney
I know them,
sisters?
yeah.
Okay,
do.
let's have a quick look at a couple of others that you've got there that you'd like to talk about. Lot 22,
22.
half
sorry.
sister to Kildonan,
Oh yes, sorry, 22. That's right. The half brother
half brother to
Kildonan. By
Tiger Ridge.
Thank you, by Tiger Ridge. I don't have any photograph up of him, unfortunately. There's a lot to come with him. He's a big, strong, strapping colt. A very, very good mover with a super attitude as well. Another one I would like to mention is out of Painted Drum, a half-sister to Heavy Metal. She's got a Solskjaer sister on the sale.
That's a tremendous family, that Orford family.
Yeah.
Painted Drum, that's Tight Drums and Drum Star, Planetary
Yeah.
Music, one of the best families in the Stoke.
And she's a big, tall, lanky filly.
Yeah.
But she's got a awesome action. Big, long stride.
Lot 30.
Lot 30.
The Captain Al.
The Captain Al, yeah. He's out of the half-sister to Crimson Palace. Say no more about that pedigree. He's a very, very nice colt.
And Captain Al's run.
They do. They
Yeah.
do run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's he look?
Again, a little bit of time he might take, but he's very strong. Big, long stride. Yeah, he's a very, very smart colt.
Nicola, you've also got a Western Winter. You've got all types of horses on this.
I've got 3 or 4
Henry
Western
the Navigator.
Winter. Henry the Navigator, my goodness. He's out of a stakes-winning mare. A very, very, very strong family. His catalogue number is 63. He's a magnificent colt.
Yeah, that a
Ladybird Blue,
that's
yeah.
Australian. That's a Bluebird family.
Yeah,
it
the
must be,
Bluebird family, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful colt, yeah.
Okay.
And then I've got a couple of, I didn't mention before, Judd Potts, 2 very nice Judd Pot colts.
you've got Trippy out of Bold, Eleanor.
Yeah, and the full sister won first time out, How Lucy, and I see she's on the Cape Ready to Run Cup.
Yeah.
She's on that log. She's a lovely, she's a different type to the sister. She's a bit longer type of filly, more of a classic type, but she's got a lot of presence about her and quality.
Fort Wood.
Fort
You've got
Wood, I've
out of
got,
Celtic Lass.
yeah, again, another nice Fort Wood, 2 Fort Wood colts. Don't remember the 2 Fort Wood. 56, is that one? No, I don't remember the lot numbers of the Fort Woods.
Lot number 24 is the one Fort Wood.
Yeah.
That's you've got a bunch of horses here. You've got Toreadors.
Yeah, I mean, the Toreadors just are...
They gallop,
flying.
don't they?
They just gallop, yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got Judd Potts.
Judd Potts. I've got a few Western Winters. We've got something for everyone, basically, on the sale. We've got a couple of Brave Tin Soldiers as well.
Yeah.
And a couple of other homebreds that are pretty nice. There's another Western Winter I wanted to mention, 68, is Stas. She's out of the Loganton News family.
Okay.
She's out of the Loganton News family, out of Legetta.
Okay.
And as you know, Legetta is the mother of King Mambo's Legacy, which I know Mike de Kock thinks very highly of.
Thinks he's a top horse.
Which we sold to them last year on the Breeze Up sale.
Yeah, he's bought a few from you.
Yeah, he's bought a lot from us, yeah.
So
he's doing well with them. So.
Yeah. Well, Nicola, it looks like a fantastic bunch of horses. I think any stud would be proud of a draft like this. How many in all?
I've got 74 in the draft.
74?
Yeah.
This is a full-time job.
Yeah.
Well, we congratulate you and wish you all the very best, and thank you so much for coming all the way down
Thank you very much.
the studios
Okay.
to show us what you have. And we'll be there on Thursday.
Thursday the 16th,
Thursday
11
the
o'clock.
16th.
Okay.
Nicola Copes,
Thank you.
and the head of Balmoral's breaking and spelling farm, and my goodness, do they do a job. Did you look at the pictures of those 4 horses that she showed us? Well, mouth-watering. And we'll be there at the Gallops to go and have a look. And if you would like videos of the Gallops, you go to the Bloodstock South Africa and get a hold of them. They will send you videos of all the Gallops at Yellow Star Stud. And thanks to Koos and Lorraine de Klerk as well for putting on those Gallops. It's going to be a buzz. It's going to be a wow. We can't wait to get there. And if you ever want to buy a racehorse, you better get to the Bloodstock South Africa, ready to run sale on Sunday the 1st of November. Enjoy the week's racing.